Jackie.
And hey, Jill.
How are you today?
We're really good. I'm really good, for sure.
I am too.
Good.
Well, welcome everyone to the Jack and Jill's Art and Culture Show, Tell All. Jackie and I like the rabbits, so we do it. So this show, what is this show about? This show is about showing artists, teaching artists, explaining to artists the business of art. How are you going to make money, especially during this time with COVID? So our guests are going to include life coaches, art advisors, curators. We're going to have marketers on, and most importantly, artists. And if you would like to be considered for our show, or you have someone that you would love for us to interview on our show, please, at the end, we will have an email address for you to send that person or yourself or any questions you might have.
Okay, so we are very fortunate to have Alexis Fedor, an amazing art coach. She's been in travel and leisure. She's been interviewed by Fox News, a myriad of others. She teaches you how to take your business to the next level. She gives you personal guidance to hit your six-figure mark in a timeline that works for you. She's done it before. I've seen it happen. She does private and group coaching sessions. These things can be found on alexisfedor.com. So let's get Alexis on, and then you'll join me in welcoming her.
Hi there. Hi, Alexis.
Hi. That's Jill.
Hi, Jill. Hi, nice to meet you on Zoom.
Yes. And you know who I am.
I do.
And I just introduced you and gave you a great introduction, and I want everyone to join me in welcoming my favorite coach, my new friend, the one, the only, Alexis Fedor. Take it away, babe.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here. You both look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome on this very hot day. Oh my God.
Who do you? I love the artwork you have behind you.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty soon that will be taken down, and one of mine's going to be hanging up.
It's true. It's very true.
I like that spot.
There are several. Yes, there's actually a bigger one that I'd like to hang there. There's one of yours. Yours is like top of the list.
Thank you. How is art being sold during COVID? Because I do know it is.
Oh, it is really, yeah, it is not, I mean, it's selling extremely well during this time. People are having incredible launches of courses and memberships online. People are selling original work. People are landing commissions that they've never landed before. This is happening constantly. And one of the reasons is because, art heals. So really, I mean, that is really the bottom line. People are turning to it they're looking for sense of community as well. So depending on, if you're an artist, depending on the kind of community you're creating, the kind of vibe that you have that's part of your theme, you're going to be attracting people who are in need of that right now. And that's exactly what's happening. So the artists who are selling the most right now already have that audience. That audience has been there. They've already established it. Other artists who are doing the right things to connect with a new audience are also selling really well right now. So, it's really incredible to watch, and it's something not to be underestimated.
Now, Jill had a good question about how to, Jill. What was that?
So the artists that aren't established, the ones that, like what you had just said, like the emerging artists, what would be the best way for them to sell during this time? Is it through Instagram? Is it through Facebook? Should they be doing classes? What are your suggestions?
Yeah, so none of the above and potentially all of the above.
Okay.
So it's a really, really important point to that I just want to sort of start with, is that it is actually the wrong question to ask, where's the best place to sell, just in general, Instagram, Facebook, or should you do a class? We don't know. It's different for everybody. You will find the answer when you first understand on the inside what your theme is as an artist and understand what people are connecting with within that theme. Once you figure that out, you'll find out where your people are hanging out and where they are most connecting with you. So to give you an example, first of all, just say that it's much better. You'll sell more if you have 5 true ideal clients who are really engaged with you and are your biggest fans versus a list of 800 who are the wrong people. You'll never sell well to those people. You'll sell more to those 5 people who are there for the right reason. So as an example, I was working with an artist named Svetlana who had only sold at outdoor markets.
I know her.
And she sold really well. But there are no outdoor markets happening right now. There's no festivals, no fairs.
Right.
And so she, turned to the online space for the first time and had the same question that you did. And so what we looked at was, what do you know about the people who bought from you at the outdoor markets? We need to know what they have in common with each other in terms of why they're resonating with your work. So she had 5 conversations with people, with clients who had bought from her. And she asked them some really pointed questions about what they're resonating with in her work and taking it back to the theme behind the work. So it's not like, you can have different styles within your own body of work, but they're under the same umbrella. And that umbrella comes from the same place within you. You want to get to that. And so these people, they told her, she found a theme within them. And so she started to talk about that on Facebook and Instagram, and she started to reach out to people who she knew were similar and just invite them to look at her posts. And within a month, she was selling online. She built up a list of 25 people who were really true fans, and she landed a commission. She sold a couple of originals. She doesn't want to teach. That's not in her wheelhouse. So it's
Right.
the question, should you be teaching? Only if you want to, but only if that's what you want to be doing.
Within what you just said, could you also tell artists that just exhibit but don't go to festivals? Let's say they just exhibit their art and at exhibitions
I'm
and
going to close
galleries.
the door.
Oh, okay. At exhibitions and galleries, a lot of times you don't end up selling your work. So now there's COVID, so there's not really exhibitions going on. So let's say if you're starting with that, like you're an artist that doesn't have a group of people to sell to, where do you begin at that beginning point?
Yeah, like I just said, what you want to do is think about, do you have any past clients?
What if you
First
don't?
step.
What if you don't?
If you don't, then you think about the people who have said something good about your work, that they're excited about it.
Okay.
You think about those people. You want to reach out to those people. It might be friends and family. So what you want to look at there is there's such a difference within your friends and family between those who want to just love and support you and those who love and support you but also are genuinely fans of your work, because not everybody in your family and friends are going to be fans of your work, but for those, you can tell those who are. Talk to them.
Jill, you have a lot of people like that you can have this discussion with.
Sure. Okay.
I think that's great. But what about connecting with your audience, your ideal clients? I guess it would be through authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
Growing your email list. I know it's important to do that. How do you accomplish that? How do you get people to your website? How do you grow your email list?
Just doing exactly what I was saying here, which is the first thing you need to do is get yourself in front of the people who are true fans, who are your true ideal clients. And then you want to start to engage with them. So engagement is key. In your business, you're only ever doing one of two things. You're either engaging with people or you're making an offer, or you're doing both, but you're always engaging. When you make an offer and nobody buys, because nobody's paying attention, 100% of the time, it goes back to the fact that you haven't been engaging with people. So what I mean by that is writing, talking about your why theme, doing videos, creating posts on social media, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, engaging, really tracking where people are paying attention. And then sort of like moving. So if you notice right away that, like, you know, you're getting more people listening to you on Instagram or Facebook, then, you know, it's on Instagram. Or it might be the opposite. But yes, engagement is the key. There's a really high-level protocol you could follow to engage with people on a regular basis. And it really just involves telling a story and tying that story to your theme, and then asking them a quick question that they could answer. Because if you can get them to answer a simple question, then you can go into a further dialogue with them in the comments. But it's just a matter of getting them to answer something really simple.
And going back and forth, engaging just once, but then asking a deeper question.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
In a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And then however they respond, because you really want to get to the crux of it.
Yeah.
And share, and you want to really actually know what it is that they think.
Exactly.
And why they feel that way.
Yeah.
So let's say, so right now, during this time period, you go on Instagram and you do your posts. A lot of people say different things about Instagram where they say, well, if you just post your artwork, that's boring. Is it okay to post inspirational, anything that inspires you? Is it okay to post other things that, like other people's work, other artists, friends of other artists? Or should your page on Instagram only be about you and your work itself? Which is it considered more professional? That's a question that I get a lot of artists ask.
Yeah, so this is the thing where anything goes as long as you have a plan, as long as you have a strategy. So again, it's almost the wrong question to be asking, because it's going to be different for every single person, depending on who they're talking to. So what you want to look at first, before you make any decision around that, is who's my audience? Right? Why are they my audience? The reason is because they're resonating with your theme as an artist for some reason, and you want to figure out what that is sooner rather than later. You're going to want to make an educated guess to begin with, and then, you know, probe deeper while you're talking to these people. But in the beginning, you want to allow it to evolve organically through these conversations, you know, sharing what you're about and asking them a question and getting people to respond. The people who respond, they're indicating to you that your theme is really, what you're sharing with them is meaningful. So that's where you want to begin. And then you can tell from there, oh, I see. So like if my theme has to do with teaching people through my art how to balance their space at work or at home, right? Because that's what my art represents on a spiritual level. Then here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how I do that through my work, why I do that through my work, why that's my theme to begin with, and keep asking people questions around that, like, why does this matter to you? And within that, yeah, I'm going to put some quotes in about spirituality that have inspired me to, you know, create this kind of work, so people can see where I'm coming from. I'm also going to post some pictures of myself with my work. That helps tremendously. So this is how you make that kind of decision. It's a strategy. The strategy comes, though, from understanding, getting to know why people care about what you're creating. And you've got to be super clear about your own theme. So we call it the why theme. what's your why? And so if you can get to the heart of that, like what your own story is, and start to share that, look at who starts to pay attention. Some people will ignore it completely. Other people will be like, wow, you just really touched me. You just really moved me. And those people, you want to say, why? What is it about that? Pull that out of them. And you're going to find a theme. There's always going to be a pattern as to why people are resonating with that. So I want to be clear here. Your why theme is your bigger theme, having to do with like why you create your
So
art.
my whole add, subtract, multiply, divide thing about math and how I live my life and how it's a reflection. Art is definitely a reflection of the life in which I live.
Yeah, that's what resonates with me. I mean, I really like that. That speaks to me on a really deep level. I'm a very organized thinker. Like an organized person in general. There's something I love math. There's something so cool about, the way you approach that. There is something so organized about the chaos of your pieces. And, that speaks to me on a deep level too. So I want to know more about that, and so when you were sharing that, when we were working together, that's what was drawing me in. And so within that, like when you talk about an individual piece, like this came from the Black Lives Matter movement, then you can talk about that, but then I would work in, that bigger theme.
Right.
So, all right, so I was inspired by this movement in this specific way, but you have to understand the way I work has to do with math. Like the way I think it through, and this is how I came up with this. That's what's going to be really fascinating to me.
I actually, as many times as you've told me this, as we've worked together for a while, I haven't done that. I haven't done my why thing. I haven't shared my why thing, other than an interview and stuff like that. So it's a great thing to do, Jill, and you have a great why thing as well.
Yeah.
So what I hear her saying is that's what we need to share, and that's what's going to resonate with people, because yours is brilliant, mine's decent.
Yours is not decent, it's brilliant. What's the most important thing about a website? And also if there's any websites in particular like Weebly or, Squarespace, whichever website you feel is best for artists, we would love to hear that from you as well.
Sure. Okay, so I'll start with the kind of platform that you choose. I mean, it's a personal decision, but I really highly recommend WordPress. It's the most popular platform for websites in the world. There are more websites created on WordPress than any other platform. So it's always going to be favored by search engines, and also it's yours. Okay, so when you're on a site like Weebly or Wix, you're building SEO for that platform.
Oh, shitski, that's what I did.
So with WordPress, it's yours. You're building SEO for yourself. So that's something really important to consider. Some of those platforms may have switched it around now because they were losing so many people. So some of them might have the option to, keep yours. So you're building it for your own. You'd have to check into that. Aside from that, it's a personal decision, and some people love Squarespace and they swear by it, and it's great. It works really well for them. Most important thing to have on your website is functionality. Number one. The worst mistake artists make is creating a really beautiful, creative website that they made for themselves that their ideal clients come to and don't get at all. They're there, they're like, okay, it's pretty, but what do I do now? What's the point? You know what I mean? What's the theme here? What do they want me to do next?
Right.
You know what I mean? Aside from just hang out on this home page, what's going on with this nav bar? I don't even understand what these things mean. Keep it super simple, functional, and it has to be for your not for you, your site. Your site is for your clients. And so really there's only 4 pages you actually need on a website. You need your home page, which above the fold, you want to have the title of what you're about, really, like the theme of your community, your why theme, very clear. And ideally, you want to have an opt-in so that people, your ideal clients, have the opportunity to share their name and email with you, get on your list right there. That's all you on your homepage. Anything below it is like, you know, whatever you think is appropriate. The next page, that's the second most important page, your about page. Because if somebody likes what they see on the homepage, the first thing they want to do is find out more about you. Like, okay, who is this? You know, so it's the second most visited page on any website is the about page. So that should be the first thing in your nav bar, ideally, is about. And your about page should be so clear for your ideal clients. The first thing on the about page should be what's in it for them, right? So I serve women who are into spirituality and want to learn how to balance their spaces at home and at the office, right?
Simple.
First sentence, who do you serve and why? And that is called a hook, which will hook your ideal clients in to say, oh, thanks, like she's speaking to me. Now I want to learn more about her. Then you start talking about your why theme and more about that, your vision and your mission for your company, all of that can follow. But you want to open with what's in it for your ideal clients. So that's the about page. And then you just really need, and I would have at least 2 opt-in opportunities on that about page as well for people to opt in. And then you just need 2 more pages, really. You just need a place for people to buy. And then the shop page, and then contact.
Right.
And that's it. And however you want them to contact you. Maybe you don't want to put, you know, personal, you just might want to have a form where they, you know, can email you. But that's really all you need. Anything else is just extra that, you know, you might, you know, press, whatever else, testimonials, anything else.
Do you think that testimonials, not for courses, but for an artist who's actually sold something and installed something in the house, is a professional thing in which to add or not?
Of course. Oh, yeah. It adds so much credibility. I mean, the days are over where you have to be like talking in the third person, you know what I mean, as an artist, as if, you know, you're far removed from everybody. That's over. Those are gallery days. You know what I mean? Where it was like you had an artist statement and it was like, so you weren't even, it was like somebody else talking about you.
Yes.
What we're talking about here is you running your own business as an artist. If that's the stance you're taking, you need to be up close and personal with your people at all times. So you want them to know exactly how other people are feeling about your work. You know what I mean? It's like, don't even listen to me. Here's what other people have to say about it.
For instance, like Jill Lefkowitz delivered a painting to me. Not only did she, but she installed it. She found the exact right place in my home. She discussed the opportunities of lighting and different things that I can do. It was a beautiful experience. She's a wonderful soul, and I recommend, if you're looking for contemporary and tribal art, to reach out to Jill Lefkowitz.
Yeah, exactly. And your clients will say things that you wouldn't be able to say about yourself. You know what I mean? Like that.
Right.
About the experience.
Should you reach out to your clients and ask them for testimony?
Yes. Of course, yes.
Okay.
And you know, you could do it in a way where you're like, you know, I would you had a good experience with my piece. I would just so appreciate you sharing so that I can, you know, let other people know what it's like to work with me.
Okay. And then here's another example. Like right now I'm in an exhibition, one of my pieces at Bailey Contemporary Art in Pompano Beach. The actual reception may or may not happen because of COVID, but how do I use that as an opportunity to engage people? Because I posted it on Instagram and I'm going to post it on Facebook, but how do I do it where it can engage more than just saying, oh, hi, I'm in a show? What else could I do to promote that to like you
Well,
said, the ideal people.
Yeah, I would be talking about your whole why theme and how it relates to the pieces that are in the show, why you're excited about the show, what the show means to your art, what the show means to you, and really getting intricate about the pieces that are in the show themselves, how they all relate back to your why theme. Just that's the thing that is going to get people to say, oh.
That's like one of the most important things, and I know that you teach that in your coaching classes because it's not easy, and it took me a long time to figure out what that was. But without that, I think that you really need someone like you, and you do need a coach. And I know that you do private coaching, and I know that you do coaching in a Facebook group, and all kinds of different things. You're also on YouTube and so forth. So, at the end of this, I want people to know how to get in touch with you because you've helped me so much. You really, and you know it. And I've been a better artist and a better entrepreneur because of it. Jill, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that at Alexis, we're going to have a special card for you at the end with your website and how people can get in touch with you so that you can become their art coach.
Just email me at info@alexisfedor.com. And if they have any specific questions, and let us know that it's from this show.
Great. And then
well
live
Jackie, we
workshop.
actually have to end the show.
Okay.
But we'd like to invite you back for another show, Alexis, if that would work for you.
Oh, I would love it.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. We're honored to have you. We loved that you gave out so much wonderful information. And we will see you on the very next show.